All right. And I believe we're live, pal. We're live. All right. So,
Somebody turn the laptop.
yeah, we'll take this here laptop.
The laptop?
The laptop. The laptop.
Echo.
All right. So much better this way, but just so much more amateur. So much more amateur. But who gives a shit? Because welcome everyone to the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I'm the Athletic Geek, and I'm joined this week by a styling and profiling Jedi Jason Kruger. And you being in that suit reminds me of what at StarCast when I decided to wear the suit to have dinner with the Horsemen. And it's just like I was in so many like just very, very casual situations. Like the lunch with X-Pac was such a casual situation, but here I am dressed to the nines. It worked for me 2 times. It looked good in the pictures with Tully and JJ, and Tully and JJ, I said like, no, you got to dress like a horseman if you're gonna eat dinner with the Horsemen. Like they thought that was cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
And then when I did my my promo with Tony Schiavone,
Oh yes.
that really worked out well,
yes.
and Tony thought it was cool. So you guys didn't see this. Maybe I'll make it public one day. Who knows? There's a point in time where I'm ranting on a mutual friend of me and Jed, who's an independent professional wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I'm like getting into it. I'm doing my promo, and I'm yelling at Tony Schiavone, I don't care what you think of me. I don't care what these people think. And, like, I give, like, this big asshole villainous zinger to get out, and he still, like, puts his hand out to shake my hand. I shake his hand. It's like, totally off kilter for what I was saying, but I'm not going to not shake Tony Schiavone's hand.
Yeah.
But,
What, you weren't trash talking Tony?
No, Ric Flair wouldn't have shook Tony's hand. Ric Flair would have just said,
But you're not Ric Flair.
I was Ric Flair. Woo! All right, tangents aside, welcome back to the Just a March Wrestling Show. Athletic Geek, Jedi Jason Kruger. Jedi and I have been friends for years. We love talking about pro wrestling. We love talking pro wrestling with other pro wrestling fans like you guys, the viewers. But we're not in the business. We don't use insider terms. We have a few slip-ups because at the end of the day, our opinions are, no more important than any of yours because we're just fans. We're just 2 marks. We're marks just like each and every one of you. It's a good thing. And, this is a special edition. And by special edition, it means it's something that happens quite frequently because it's part of it. It's predictions. It's predictions episode.
For a while there, that was getting way too frequent.
Way too frequent, yes. We got TLC this Sunday.
It's true.
Xbox will be out here tomorrow to sign. Awesome. Xbox an awesome guy, so be sure to go meet him. He is cool as fuck. I met him at the signing, or at the lunch at StarCast, and then I met him a couple months ago. He did a local show, and got to meet him again. And he actually remembered the dinner. He remembered my friend David, who was also at the dinner I met there, who's from the UK. So if you watch this, shout out David. X-Pac remembered you. Yeah, not going to waste any more time. Jedi, pull up that card.
Oh, yes. I'm super prepared today. You should totally tell.
Yeah, it's been a rough week for everybody here.
Yeah, that's how I got that done.
Nice. He has his how to tie a tie.
I googled it this morning.
You want to know something? I'm gonna while we're gonna entertain the folks while you pull this up.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I just bought this book here at the local Barnes and Noble, but check out this surprise when I bought that book. Signed by Shinsuke Nakamura on the inside.
What?
That's my second bit of good luck with that. Because the very, very similar, this was 10 years ago, I bought Chris Jericho's first book. Open it up. Chris Jericho's signature was in it. So, it was really, and now I've just fudged everything up on this here bookshelf. So, yeah. So that's pretty cool. So I haven't yet got around to reading Nakamura's book, but definitely.
All right. I'll just use this website. Wikipedia didn't pop up first in the thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
As long as it's got all the matches. It's not really a TLC match. Like, I missed that. I glossed over the fact Strowman and Baron Corbin was supposed to be a TLC match.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, there's a ladder match in there
happen,
that's not even a ladder match.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But let's just
whatever. All right. So maybe happening. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. It's still listed.
Well, we might need to go in order because I think we need. Yeah, let's try and find an order.
All right. Let me just try to find Wikipedia.
Yeah, let's just find the better one. Also in wrestling news, I made my color commentary debut last week for MMWA. It was pretty fun, and it was a good time. Did some color commentary with some awesome people. It's very, very hard. It's a lot more difficult than I thought, but I had a great time, and depending on some things in the private life, I'm hoping I can do it again, because good time, good bunch of guys. But
all right, so the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge,
where the winners of the match get the number 30 spot in both the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches. So
and a paid vacation.
So I'm not going to steal completely from other YouTube peers, but be prepared for a whole when that final number 30 buzzer rings. Be prepared to hear just this feeling. Feel whatever this feeling among the crowd.
So I'm gonna
Nobody cares! Nobody cares! Because that's what's going to happen.
So I'm going to come back and look at this in like a week or two. Check the comments just to see. Anybody out there that watches this, let me know. Am I the only human alive that watched Mixed Match Challenge on Facebook?
I watched a little bit of it.
Oh, okay.
I watched
the whole damn thing. I managed to squeeze in time here and there on a lunch break to watch some of it. So, like, because it's short. So I'm just curious, did anybody watch all of it? It was something else, say that. Some of it was pretty funny.
Well, yeah.
But
AJ was great.
Some of it. But, and then, like a total mark, I got very upset when Ember Moon was cheated out of her win. I was sad. I was too. Legit upset.
That's too. Ember Moon's awesome.
And then
and she would be a good
for taking it seriously.
And she would be a good number 30 too.
Hell yeah. Yeah, can't say anything but good things about Ember Moon. Anyway, so it comes down to Fabulous Truth and Carmella with their dance breaks versus Nobody Cares. I mean, Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. So
Melina and Alicia Fox had that 26-star classic from from the lady on Tough Enough. I'm gonna go with Nobody Cares, and I'm gonna go with Team Nobody Cares.
You're gonna go with Jinder and Alicia?
Yes, because at least with Jinder, I feel like they could get some kind of booze. Is kind of that boo. It's Jinder Mahal, and he's number 30, and he could get in some really good villainous spots of taking advantage, and then eventually get eliminated. Or they could just. They could do the same, like just making a comedy spot with R-Truth, but I feel like Jinder Mahal is at least they wouldn't give number 30 to somebody who's completely irrelevant, and this isn't TNA in 2005.
I mean,
R-Truth
is stretching it to say that Jinder Mahal's relevant.
R-Truth. All right, Jinder Mahal has had relevancy a lot more recent than R-Truth has.
This is true.
So I'm gonna
Alicia Fox in the women's that's
killer. It's a no-win situation, and I don't like it. I'm doing my best to, as Naito would say, remain tranquilo and not really get all worked up, because I've been worked up in the last few of these. Kind of been pretty angry because there's been a lot to be angry about. Not quite as angry of a week this week as we'll get into. But
I gotta go with R-Truth and Carmella.
I'm gonna go Alicia Fox. I'm gonna go Team Nobody Cares.
I'm gonna go Team Dance Break. I like our team name better.
Yeah.
All right, so Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay, now here's
some stipulations on it.
Yeah, now here's my anger, which I've already ranted about. Like, like a few weeks ago, we
Mhm.
thought we were going to be getting, at least a somewhat dialed down, but, still going to be getting what we wanted to during the villainous turn of Ambrose. We'd be getting PG John Moxley, which even PG John Moxley still probably, pushes the boundaries a little bit with WWE. But instead...
Like the word bitch.
Yeah.
Those women. Just,
yeah.
No. Anyway.
But now he... Now he's just like a germaphobe, and it makes no sense. He looks like a dime store Bane. But I think they're going to try and give some relevancy to Ambrose and have him win the Intercontinental title here.
Mm-hmm.
And the rumor innuendos, Conrad Thompson would say, has perhaps big things in store for Rollins.
Well, Seth Rollins this week decided to point out how much Raw sucked.
Yeah.
So he's automatically...
And it's Baron Corbin's fault. Not that I like Baron Corbin, but it's not Vince's. It's Baron Corbin's fault.
Either way, he's automatically everybody's favorite because he pointed out to Joseph.
It seems like they might be having some big things planned for Seth at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So they might want to get the Intercontinental title, get him out of that IC title scene in order to justify it. Especially going into the Royal Rumble.
Who's going to challenge Ambrose next?
Who knows?
Yeah, right?
Really? So I'm gonna go with Dean Ambrose in this one.
Seth Rollins is going to retain and win by disqualification. Ambrose is going to murderize him after he can't get the job done the normal way.
Okay. Very interesting.
On a night where all we got is violence with weapons, he's going to somehow be more brutal with weapons.
Because that's the WWE way.
Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin in a tables, ladders, and chair match. If Strowman wins, he gets a Universal Championship shot at the Royal Rumble against Brock Lesnar. And Corbin will lose all of his power. If Corbin wins, he becomes full-time general manager of Raw. There's a stipulation for you. About choke trying to get that all out. Thoughts?
I'm going to go with Baron Corbin in this one. Just because, for some reason, and I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach that they've just given up on Strowman, which is stupid, but I feel like they've just given up on Strowman. And I also feel like him having all the power is going to lead into more things. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the story going into WrestleMania, because now we're kind of getting into WrestleMania season, They say the Royal Rumble is the first stop on the road to WrestleMania, but really when the first of the year hits, that's all, it's like late, everything, the Royal Rumble is the playoffs, but this is the last 2 weeks of the NFL season leading up to it, where there's still like big stuff going on. I think that's going to be the big story, possibly for Rollins and the other heroes on the Raw roster, is having to overcome drunk with power Baron Corbin, possibly leading to a match where Baron Corbin, maybe Kurt Angle can get his power back at WrestleMania, something like that. So, again, we're going way far ahead, but that's why I think Baron Corbin, probably via some shenanigans, some other villains are going to come out and ensure his victory somehow. But that's what I think is going to happen.
Gotcha. Yeah, my main issue with Braun winning is where do they go from there with Corbin?
I really don't give...
No, I know, but I imagine...
Quote The Rock, I don't give a cockatoo's anus where they go here with Baron Corbin, because he's not that good.
Because if he was stripped of power, the only thing I could see right this minute would be just giving Alexa the whole thing. So
I would not have a problem with that.
Well, yeah, that'd work fine, but just then where do you go with Corbin? Unless they've completely given up on this guy. From a backstage perspective. Because otherwise, with Strowman's surgery, I'm not sure he's really going to be cleared to compete, but that doesn't stop him from doing a one power slam squash, I win situation, Then again, it's a TLC match. What does that even mean? Do they have to climb to grab something, or does that just mean they're all legal?
Yeah,
What does that mean? Because TLC for the women, I believe, it's they got to climb the ladder
to
retrieve the belt. So I don't even know what it means. So I'll just be different and say Braun Strowman.
Okay.
all that just to
Yeah, we have
say,
no
I don't
agreement.
know.
We have no agreement.
We don't know what it means. That would, yeah. I'm just trying to be contrarian. You know, that way there'll be a winner and a loser. Not that
Is that
matters.
all the math? Okay.
Well, there's more. There's 12, man. Some of them.
Wikipedia is not in order because I'm seeing what's coming up here in the next few matches. So.
Oh well.
We could freestyle.
All right, so Rousey and Nia Jax for the
Ronda
WWE.
Rousey.
Oh, obviously, yeah. Not even a.
They gotta keep that belt on her, and quite frankly, I'm gonna give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You know, like I'm not just. A lot of people had a lot of passionate things to say about Nia Jax after she hurt Becky, and want a lot of action taken. While I wasn't happy about it, and obviously I'm a much bigger Becky Lynch fan than Nia Jax, I won't just completely throw Nia under the bus. I will say it is the wrestling business. You know, shit happens, but she should not be rewarded after fucking something up like that, especially somebody that's money, like Becky Lynch.
I just hope.
And you need Ronda Rousey because, well, we'll get into that later.
I just hope that to me now there's enough smoke and mirrors that we can cover up the fact that Nia Jax is still probably the greenest woman on the roster.
Even more than Ronda. You would say that.
I don't know because Ronda's track record is. It's hard to track Ronda's progress. It's hard to track her progress.
Ronda needs the right partner.
Yeah. You put her in there with Charlotte Flair and magic happens. You put her in there with Becky, I'm sure magic will happen.
You put her in there with Nia, it's not going to be that.
I mean, you put her in there with Nikki Bella, and it's like, well, that happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you know what? I feel like, some people complain that, that's wrestling, Then
again,
the Miz needs the right partner to work.
Then again,
I'm not saying that Miz is like completely awful, but the Miz needs a good dance partner to have a really, really good match. He has to have the right guy. The Miz and Baron Corbin ain't going to have a good match. The Miz and Daniel Bryan might.
This could be really good, though, actually, because if Nia goes full monster, Ronda's good at doing the whole I'm being thrown around like a rag doll being killed kind of thing. So it might actually turn out to be really good. I hope it is.
We'll go to this next one next because...
Jump down to one no one cares about. This better be on the pre-show.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre, and ooh, I think this will be a good match, but I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place in that I really want big things for Drew McIntyre, but I'm tired of seeing Finn Balor.
Finn Balor will not win unless he comes out as the Demon against Drew McIntyre in his current Kurt Angle slaying form.
Yeah, I think I should. I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre because they seem to be strapping the rocket ship on him, which is cool because finally Drew McIntyre is getting what he should. But at the same time, as a Finn Balor fan, kind of sucks.
I agree. But yeah, the writing's on the wall. Unless he's the Demon, in which case, but if they build it, they might do that at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
If there's some way to make it seem unfinished business with Drew winning, then he might up the ante and just come out as the Demon, slaughter Drew. Right. I'm not sure where to go from there, but anyway, yeah. So unless it's Demon version, Balor's not winning.
Then we go to a ladder match, which is actually a pole match. We have Elias versus Bobby Lashley.
I just want to know.
The guitar is on the ladder, and if you climb up and get the guitar, you can use it. So it's a pole match. No Vince Russo required.
I just want to know once someone retrieves it, say Elias gets it and Lashley grabs it and hits it. That's a disqualification, right? Only Elias can use it if he climbed and got it? I bet not.
This is stupid. It's not going to be on the pre-show, but
not being a ladder match like that.
It would be when I go, decide to hopefully have the pizza man come and go pick up that pizza, or go to the fridge for a beer.
The death spot, that spot where the fans have just went completely nuts for something and they're completely exhausted and don't care anyway, and that filler where they can all go get a snack before the main event. I mean,
I'm gonna go with Bobby Lashley in this one just because. I'm sorry, Elias.
Yeah. I mean, he's got...
Bobby Lashley's got more potential than you, buddy. I hate to say it. I like you. I think you're a fucking entertaining fella, but we're going to go Bobby Lashley.
Well, I was going to go a different direction. I was going to say he's got Leo Rush out there for distraction purposes. So.
True.
I mean, Leo Rush is getting smashed with
That's going to be a good... It's going to be a good match. Sorry, Ray, which match were you talking about? I'm kind of focused. I'm sorry I missed your comment, bud. Are you talking about the Bobby Lashley match? Because if you are, we're gonna have to agree to disagree there, pal. All right, what we got next?
Yeah, let's do the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship triple threat: The Bar versus the New Day versus the Usos.
I think.
I bet that's a pre-show match.
And it's gonna be a good match, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you put the Usos and the New Day in a match, even on the pre-show last year, and it was one of the best matches on the card. It's still gonna be a pre-show match.
I'm gonna go with the Usos. It's just one of those that can go any way, and I'm, throwing that 3-sided coin up, because it's a triple threat.
Is the Bar the champions right now?
Yeah, the Bar are the
champions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bar's champions.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the Usos just because
I'll just go with you on that because I have no opinions.
Yeah, I have an opinion either.
Here
we go,
Natalia versus Ruby Riott in a sunglasses on a table match. Sorry, I mean a tables match.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you through a Jim Neidhart table.
That's right.
This kind of is reminiscent of the Undertaker CM Punk storyline from WrestleMania 29, where it's like, so would this have even have happened? Like I said this about that storyline. Would this have even have happened if Paul Bearer didn't die? Like, would we even be seeing this match if Jim Neidhart wouldn't have died? Not that I think that Natalia's offended or that I think that Jim Neidhart would care.
Maybe he wouldn't.
It's just it's bad.
Yeah.
It's not good at all.
Like I'm not the story's so bad.
I'm not offended by that. I'm offended that it's just like this is the best we have a strong enough women's division. Like this, just think
I could have come up with a story.
Think about this. Like I want to put this into perspective. That here is the goods and the bads. There's a strong enough women's division now. There is a women's match for a feud, which is totally fucking awesome.
Yes, it's true.
But it's so bad of a storyline.
This is the best feud.
That's like, this is the best you could come up with for like a quote-unquote blood feud or just an issue? Like, this is something that I've always been asking for, but you've executed so poorly in such a stupid storyline, it's just kind of got me going,
Yeah, at least...
Because it used to just be one women's match. It's the title match, and that's it.
What was it, 2 years ago, when they still had the brand-exclusive pay-per-views? It was a year or 2 years ago where they had Natalya versus Nikki, and at least the story was, well, you're just a face and you can't actually wrestle, and I'm a wrestler. And Nikki's like, no, I can prove myself. I belong here. I mean, at least that story had more substance to it than this one. Sorry.
This is daddy misses her daddy misses her daddy, and it's kind of stupid.
I mean, Ruby Riott's character's half dead at this point anyway. She might as well just chant that.
Probably what's going to be a pre-show match here, because fucking Wikipedia.
So, Natalya or Ruby?
Oh, fuck, yeah. That's really what I think. I think Ruby Riott wins this one. I think they're going to keep... I think she'll be champ before WrestleMania. I think this would be good momentum to maybe lead to a program with Rousey and like the Royal Rumble.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like you can tell the story of the Riot Squad going. Will that take the belt off of Rousey going into WrestleMania? Yeah. That's what I think is going to happen. I really wish it was something different. I really wish they would have done a better job so that way I'd care about two, immensely talented girls like that. But I don't. Oh.
I'll agree with you. Ruby has
backup,
consistent backup, so
yeah,
she should win. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship. Will it be on the pre-show? Won't it be on the pre-show?
Probably on the pre-show.
It wasn't at Survivor Series.
It was no, it was
not. This is Cedric Alexander wanting to get the title back.
I think Cedric Alexander's going to get the title back. I feel like, they gave it to Buddy Murphy just because, good thing for his hometown. And he's a tremendous wrestler. And from what I don't watch 205 Live, but from what I've heard, already on, it's 24 hours in a day. And I want to check out New Japan stuff, so there you go. But anyway, I feel like Cedric's kind of the guy on 205 Live, and I feel like he gets the belt back here, and then they start doing whatever. Kind of a crapshoot, but that's just.
I'm gonna go with Buddy Murphy because Neville's title reign was lengthy.
True.
And Buddy Murphy's the villain, so.
And then you just kept seeing him in Austin Aries on your stream of WrestleMania.
That was great. That was great and horrible.
Lashley. Oh yeah, it's gonna be. It's yeah, Ray. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. All right.
Best match ever. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match.
Because you gotta have chairs match, guys.
There will be chairs,
but there will not be blood because that's outlawed. I'm gonna go Randy Orton in this one. That's gonna keep some, keep his hatred growing. You know, what more? You know, how can you get more hate than beating up? You know, it's still like it's tried and true method. You beat up poor little Rey Mysterio.
What does he do after that? I mean, if he beats him, does he move on to someone else? Do they escalate this to something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Where are they going with this? Does anybody care?
Actually, you know, I actually want to change mine. I think Rey wins.
That way Orton can get more vicious.
Well, Orton can get more vicious, and I think next month at the Royal Rumble we're gonna need a challenger for. Well, we'll get to that. I think Rey wins this, and maybe he challenges at the Royal Rumble for somebody else, which would lead to a good match either way. At least this is me putting some like really rose-tinted glasses on, but like I think that'd be a good idea because they're talking about different things for WrestleMania. So
I'm gonna go with Rey just because you need a feel-good win every now and then, and I think I already predicted some screw job finished up earlier anyway. So.
All right, next match. It's the one we're talking about, the WWE Championship match. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. I'm going with Daniel Bryan this one. He just won. He can't lose it just yet.
Same.
You know, he's full into his villain character. And I'm going to clarify. You know, part of the reason why I don't care for him doing this whole environmentalist thing is part of it. It's cheap and it works, but I feel like like I said, I feel like it takes away from the legit feelings that kind of came across. And also, Daniel Bryan was doing a good job. Like I was even disliking him, and he's my second favorite wrestler of all time. And he was getting boost from me. This just makes it feel like, if he can do that to me, he can do it to everybody. By doing it this way, he opens himself up to be a hero to, like, a section of people.
Oh, right.
And I feel like a good villain needs to be universally hated. And I feel like he was well on his way of doing that. But now there's going to be people that agree, like, philosophically with Daniel Bryan are going to think, like, he's a hero. He's beating there's a section of the audience that thinks like, here's a guy who loves the environment and is vegan fighting, a southerner from Georgia. There's all these people going to go like, well, of course Daniel Bryan's the hero. He's fighting some probably guy who drives a big pickup truck from Georgia who's killing the environment. Yay, Daniel Bryan. It endears him to a part of the audience, and the whole point of this character was to not endear him to any part of the audience anymore.
He was saying.
I get that it's just like
section,
it's a small section, but it's like it's such a vocal section.
I mean,
of the world now.
I guess I see what you're saying. I don't know.
Because just imagine if
I tend to lean conservative, but I usually shudder even if I agree with him on anything. I usually shudder when Donald Trump opens his mouth. I'm like,
right.
Just don't.
Right.
Just don't make the rest of us look bad.
Yeah, like that's what I'm like. But like, there's so many people that be like, yes, you need to out that because I know people like that. They're thinking like, yes, Daniel Bryan's saying this stuff on WWE TV and like this is good. And it's like, no, because
he's making him look bad though. So like, would you appreciate someone taking a platform you believed in and doing it in such a way where it's like, please don't.
They think he's but that's not how he's coming across. If you read, the internet. I mean, I know it's just the internet, but like people. There's a lot of people that feel that he's actually like, yes, this is the aggressive nature that we need right now that he's doing, and I'm like, no,
that's the internet.
He should just like
keyboard warriors.
He should. I just wish that wasn't part of it, so it could just be like, he could draw the ire from those people like. Well, hey, you have your platform. Why aren't you talking about your veganism? Why aren't you talking about, how, conservative with energy you are? I don't need to do that with you. And then you even have those people mad at you. It would just be this beautiful ball of hatred.
Gotcha. Like with Trump.
Yes. Yeah. This beautiful, it'd be like one of those, just something like that. That's what I was hoping for.
Okay, last week you confused me. This week I totally get where you're coming from.
Like now there's, like, if you don't bring that up, you don't endear yourself to anyone.
Yeah.
Because now, people like me, you know, I think if you're vegan or that, you know, I don't care one way or the other, I'm not, God bless you, that's your life. But him doing what he's doing is making me go, Urgh. But then, like, the people that, you know, were attracted to Daniel Bryan because of that, they would be like, you know, why aren't you talking about your veganism anymore? Why aren't you talking about this thing? You know, you're just as fickle too. You know, you don't care about me wrestling. You only care about me because I'm a vegan.
Because I advance your agenda. Yeah.
You know, if he would say something like that, that would get those people,
fickle.
you know, angry. He'd be fickle, fickle. They need a fickle shirt.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
Although it kind of defeats the purpose if you think about it.
True. Is he going to put fickle on his side plates? That'd be awesome. But that's kind of more what I think, you know, if he could get even the small minority that just likes him because he represents, you know, them on television to hate him too, he'd be the greatest villain of this century since Ciampa and The Miz in the WWE. So, but I'm going Daniel Bryan this one. There's no way AJ's winning the belt back this early.
No, there's no way. That'd be horrible storytelling. Have we done everything now except...
No, because we have what needs to be the main event.
Yeah.
Tables and ladders and chairs in the traditional sense.
Yes.
Oh my. We have the Queen, the Empress, and the Man. Who have you got and why, Jedi?
Woo-wee. It's too late at night to be thinking that hard.
Because I know who I'm picking.
Oh, please, go ahead if you want. I need more time to think.
I'm going to go with Charlotte in this one.
Ooh,
I think Charlotte wins. I think that's twofold. And again, this is me like just clinging on to that last thread of hope that they have. You know, you got to hear me out. That last thread of hope that something's coming for Asuka. They build up to at WrestleMania. Charlotte and Asuka in a rematch from last year. You know, Asuka saying with the storyline, and again, this is stuff that's probably never going to happen, but this is just me predicting for what would be good in my head. Asuka saying, you know, losing my streak to you at WrestleMania started the worst year of my career. I get my revenge, and I get that SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania. Asuka gets her revenge. Asuka gets the title, and then Asuka goes back to being Asuka after that. That's what I want to see happen. From there, I'm going to have to shut my computer down because battery's almost dead. So, sorry if you're chatting and we're not seeing it right now. Then from there, Becky's lost, so she's not the champion anymore. Becky wins the Women's Royal Rumble, and she says she wants the person who, you know, where she was denied the opportunity earlier. She wants Ronda Rousey. Rousey-Becky main event WrestleMania. If the rumors aren't true that Daniel Bryan and Shawn Michaels are going to be wrestling each other.
Well, you know.
That's a toss-up because it's like, whatever match doesn't go on last is always going to turn the eye. Oh, but Becky deserved it. Oh, but this may be the... Oh, but, you know. But, still, Becky wins the Women's Royal Rumble, challenges Rousey, Rousey-Becky main event WrestleMania. See, I didn't want to go with mine first because I don't want that to influence your decision in any way, shape, or form.
No, I've been thinking about it. I think they might actually put the belt on Asuka.
You think this is Asuka time?
It might be. Just because of the stories they want to tell with the other two. The belt might be in the way. So I could see it. Because that way, you have your championship, and that's a story in of itself. You can give somebody else on SmackDown something to do with Asuka after a little thing with Charlotte, I think. I think they might pay off Charlotte and Asuka at the Royal Rumble, the rematch, instead of waiting until WrestleMania. Because you've still got, at least I think in their minds, the Becky, Nia Jax thing. Whether, now I'm debating, would Nia, after losing to Ronda earlier in the night, being all bitter, just cost Becky her championship to be like, yeah, you know, to piss Becky off more? Or will Nia cost Becky the Royal Rumble? Which would lead to Becky and Nia at WrestleMania.
Well, if that happens,
and then Charlotte would probably end up fighting Rousey.
Well, if we have Nia and Becky at WrestleMania, I will boo the fuck out of Nia Jax as loud as I possibly can from my section of the crowd.
You and everybody else.
And I will have a sign that says the man deserves better, because that's the truth. The man deserves better. But I'm really hoping, because there's way too much money to be made with Becky and Ronda. Just imagine, putting them on like the morning shows, because make it like Rousey's old like UFC fights, with them going back and forth, it'd be perfect, along with Lesnar and whoever his challenger is, too. You can get a lot of media attention with those two women with the belt in the way, and the only woman that could probably at least convey to a non-wrestling audience, I can beat Ronda Rousey's ass, is Becky Lynch. So
that's fair.
To me, like
I'm gonna stick with Asuka, but I could totally see Becky retaining because Charlotte and Asuka are too focused on each other.
Yeah.
This whole,
I will go on a limb and say this: anything less than Ronda and Becky, whether you want to put that the main event or not, anything less than Becky and Ronda, barring injuries, God forbid, not for wood, there's none.
Okay.
Anything less than that would be unacceptable at WrestleMania, especially with what happened with Survivor Series. You're gonna give it like the most least important major pay-per-view, and now you have the chance to put the first meeting at the most important pay-per-view. Anything less than that is unacceptable. So, there you go.
And like you said, once Shawn Michaels comes back, there's nothing.
And even if Shawn Michaels comes back with Daniel Bryan, like this just may be something that would sell too many. Somewhere, I don't always agree with Al Snow's philosophy, but what sold the most tickets, that would sell the most tickets. Now, would the girls have their work cut out for them? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I'm not saying they can't overcome that. I'm just saying they'd have their work cut out for them. Mm-hmm. Be no different than me saying that Triple H and Randy Orton definitely had their work cut out for them at WrestleMania 25.
Right.
It happens. But what would sell the most tickets? Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. Mm-hmm. And anything less than Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania is unacceptable, both from a storytelling standpoint and a business standpoint. It's not really a hot take, but it's one of the very, very few takes where I will say, I leave room for everybody's opinions. Everybody can feel how they want. We agree to disagree. This is like the one opinion I will have where if you disagree, you're wrong. I'll just be that asshole. This is the one I will pull my asshole card out and say, if you think that Becky versus anything other than Becky versus Ronda at WrestleMania is a good idea, you're wrong. Sorry. Agree to disagree, but you're still wrong.
No, only the writers agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty done for picking Asuka. She's the one that stood tall at the end of SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's like a sure sign she's not going to.
Yeah.
Oh, well. We'll see.
We'll see.
It'll be interesting. It'll definitely kind of map out where we're going from there on some things.
Absolutely. But that is pretty much it for the show this week. Not really going to get into some other stuff. NXT was good, but not really going to get into its predictions episode.
I didn't see it, so.
NXT's good. Final Battle's going on as this is live. We'll be checking it out probably next week. It'll probably be spoiled for me before then. Probably be spoiled for me when I watch Being the Elite, so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for us this week. You can go like my Facebook page, facebook.com/athleticgeek89. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, give it a share, give us a subscribe.
Yeah.
Check out my other videos, not just from World Pro Wrestling, but from World Comics, Gaming, and so much more.
Donkey Kong
got concluded. Finally, for the first time in my life, beat it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the episode went live yesterday.
I saw it on there. I just didn't realize it was.
Check it out. I didn't beat it. Fathead beat it. I got eliminated early, but it's the first time I ever actually got to experience beating Donkey Kong Country.
Cool.
I was very much the Marty to his Sean, but
Let me know when you beat Donkey Kong Country Returns, because I get it too.
Well, it's not on the Super NES Classic,
Fair
so
enough.
we'll have to get to that later. But
That one's hard. It
Follow-
might just because co-op, but
oh yeah. Follow me on Twitter at athletic_geek89. Tweet me, I'll tweet you back. I don't really post a lot on Twitter, but Jedi don't have social media because he's got kids. He ain't got time for that.
hit me up here once a week.
Yep.
Yo.
Holler at him here. But other than that, for Jedi, Jason Krieger, I'm the Athletic Geek. We're just 2 marks. We're out. Later.
Nobody commented.